Ryan, why don't you pull up Amazon's margins real quick?
Well, yeah, I'd have more of a grin on my face than Stephen Hawking on Epstein's Island.
I'm off as a smug cock when he said that.
Wow, fiscal philosophy, you're not very smart at all. You screw up, cash flow kings. Dissector, you are an idiot.
Hello, everybody. It's Saturday. It's 8 p.m. Eastern. And Fiscal, I almost thought for a second I was going to be alone, just like Tactical Shoeshiner in his bedroom for the last 15 years. But welcome back, everybody. Fiscal, we're with a new setup. You must have, used your MPW dividends from somewhere. So, is this the new crib?
It is. I've been scrambling all day today, getting the internet switched over and making sure it works here. Getting enough of my stuff over here to actually be able to have a setup at all. It's been something. I only got my keys yesterday, so I've been moving like lightning.
Yeah, you don't have a bunch of books and investing books in the background, but Fiscal,
It is
Saturday. It is Saturday. It's 8 p.m. Eastern. What could some people, let's just say, I won't go there. What could some people, be doing right now on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern that are pretty unproductive for their lifestyle, you could say?
When I was at Sam's Club earlier, I saw a lot of people picking up alcohol, probably to party tonight.
Yikes.
That's not very productive.
Not good for your liver.
Not very smart at all.
They're probably waiting for the weekly recap hangover video tomorrow. They got to pass the time.
I was at the Quick Trip, and I noticed they were advertising Juul for $2.
Oh,
that's not very productive. Vaping
prices are going down at least.
Yeah. The inflation's a myth, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. And speaking of inflation, we have the inflation expert, and this is somebody that's been, this is a reoccurring guest. We'll start off with Double D's. Welcome in, Dividend dude. He's a REIT analyst. Growing, Twitter influence. Welcome in, Double D's.
Hello, guys. It's been a while. I am a Seeking Alpha REIT, inflation, economics, MPW, Vici, Salesforce, Joseph Carlson, YouTube analyst. So
that is right.
Yep. It's basically what I am.
The only way to start off the night. And next we have a guest who we've been looking to get on here for a while. And fellas, I'm just going to give you the warning. This is like a Joe Rogan potential episode kind of tonight. So get the popcorn, tuck the kids in bed, and plug the ears. Or if you're like Tactical Stock Scalper, and I don't know if you'll be doing that. But let's get our next guest in here. It is Aria, another growing Twitter influence as well. We got the Twitter gang on lock now. Welcome in, Aria.
Hello.
Represented.
That's right. Hello.
And since Aria is from Canada, I have been keeping my Tim Hortons cup for the last couple of weeks just to show it, even though he thinks it's trash.
It tastes like water, bro. I don't know how you drink that coffee.
That's actually funny because it's never tasted like water, but until and right when you said that, the next time I got it,
I'm telling you,
it's like water.
It's changed, man. It's changed.
It's the double doubles and French vanillas, but yeah, I think ever since Roll Up the Rim went away like 4 years ago, it hasn't been the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only thing they have on Starbucks is that it's cheaper. But welcome in, both of you. Aria, since you're not a reoccurring guest like our friend Dan down here, would you we typically like to ask our guests, what's your game? What kind of investing do you focus on? With your name, it is kind of obvious, but would you care to share for the people who don't?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a little bit different than everybody on the board here. Definitely no MPW Hyperbole or anything like that. But yeah, no, I buy companies with really high valuations that grow a lot. To sum it up.
Joseph Carlson actually just entered backstage, guys. I'll let him in a second. I'm joking.
Okay.
I'm joking.
I'm like 40% Amazon and like 30% Salesforce. So just to kind of give you an idea on that front. But yeah, it's in the name, right? Quality companies that grow for a really long time.
At least it's not AMSI. You could be an AMSI. Just saying.
The levered one?
I've heard if you're in AMSI, you get free money. Is that true?
That's true.
No, it's the Yield Max one. Like,
we need to be.
Yeah, Yield Max is free money. I heard the same thing.
Okay. Okay, we're all on the same page here. Okay,
absolutely.
Fiscal, we need to tread lightly. As Walter White would say, tread lightly. But welcome in everybody in the chat. I saw Luke was in here. Anybody that comes in before the streams and types automatically has like added 5 points to their attributes. So welcome in everybody.
Someone called me cute.
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah.
Do you know him? Do you know
No
him?
idea. Never heard of that
Okay.
gentleman.
Okay.
No.
Get it. You might want to get a Wyoming LLC if you ever have to form one, like me and Fiscal are doing for some safety reasons.
Does it cost money to make an LLC?
Yes, it does, but don't worry, Sugar Daddy's taking care of it.
Yes. See, just because
man.
Fiscal is late today doesn't mean I'm charging him interest on that either. But yeah, but we're gouging Fiscal during this tough economic time for him too. You thought inflation was bad. He's getting a new house. He's getting a new apartment with LLC costs on top of it. It was cheaper than I thought it would be. I thought it would be like in the thousands, but it's only a couple hundred.
I was thinking about doing it, but I don't think it's worth it, to be honest.
You gotta do what I'm doing and just live off of your parents' taxes.
If you have more than one person involved, you absolutely need a formalized. You need to have your relationship and how things are divided and distributed formalized in writing, just so that everybody's clear and on the same page.
I'm taking the channel away from Fiscal once we hit 1K. I'm kicking him off, everybody. So he has to get this going. Roberto's in here. Lincoln, who's been being shadow banned by YouTube. Not good to see. Not bullish times. Bacon, Fuhat, unknown. Oh wow, the production value's increased. There we go. Dividend dude's been here from the start. He's been the production value. We're tuning it up.
Yeah.
Beater stocks, world's #1 hater. Fried muffin. Guff, always a good time when Guff is in here. Wouldn't you say, Double D's?
Yeah, Guff's great. We love Guff.
Yeah, another OG. Yeah, but welcome Ben here, everybody. MC Army. But yeah, do we want to start? Do we want to start off Double D's with the main topic? You and Paul.
I mean that wasn't anything like that big. I just saw one of his posts and he was like talking about. I think he was talking about he was like acting like he was like very conservative in the markets and this is like it was like a very conservative post and then I was just like. Okay, well, I mean, like you did one of the riskiest option plays on NVIDIA and lost a ton of money. Like that doesn't really align with what you're saying here. And I just said that, and then you like got angry.
Well, how did it?
Really?
Didn't it start with you made a post about inflation?
And McDonald's Big Macs are $18.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Well, it's because their costs went up and yada yada." Because
Yeah,
you said it was criminal, and he's like, "They're just doing it because it's more expensive." Blah blah blah. But really, they're doing it to increase their bottom line.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not just one or the other. It's a combination of both. But if you look at their bottom line, I mean, it's hitting all-time highs. I just think that fast food is for kind of lower income, or I thought it was, especially McDonald's. And if you're charging that much, like, why not just go to like a Texas Roadhouse or something? It's like the same price.
100% agree. Go to Texas Roadhouse. Not sponsored
tonight.
So yeah, that's kind of that summed up. I just called him out, and then I don't know. I forgot what he said back. It was a while.
And there
ago.
was another post. Then it was like a week later. He replied to another post, and then that was when you brought up the Nvidia short, and I was very proud.
Nvidia. If you just look at the earnings per share, like the stock price, yes, it went crazy, but so did the earnings of the company. So it doesn't make sense to short it. I mean, it would make sense if the company's earnings didn't grow and the stock price just grew off a story, but that's not really what it is. So I don't know.
Aria, is even Nvidia too expensive for you?
No, I'm not touching Nvidia. It has a lack of recurring revenue. That's actually I should have probably mentioned that. I don't buy anymore, at least. I don't buy companies that don't have recurring revenue. Just not good for my stomach. That's why I let go of Starbucks at a loss, actually.
Oh,
Starbucks does have recurring revenue, though.
Oh no!
People get their coffee every
it's not
morning.
subscription. It's not subscription.
Are you more a fan of like software as a service type companies then?
Not necessarily. Well, software really like that's the main thing that falls under that umbrella. But like I have like MSCI in the portfolio and stuff like that. Like those are also recurring revenue subscription businesses. So not necessarily, but like that's what you end up with.
You on Microsoft?
Whoa!
Oh no,
guys,
they got him.
Not own Microsoft.
They got him. They got him.
He does not own Microsoft.
Speaking of dissector, that's our
Hello.
one only.
My barber called me.
Okay, that's a valid reason to pick up.
But yeah.
No, but yeah, Hold on. Starbucks kind of does have some reoccurring revenue, right? If you go there for your coffee, you're going there every morning. It's not a subscription, but it's kind of reoccurring because people get their fix in the morning.
People are addicted. Speaking from experience. And
there's people that
especially,
go
I
like
think
every morning.
rewards app members, they're way more likely to come back and be reoccurring, and that's shown in the
100%.
data.
Have you guys, quick question, have you guys listened to the Acquired podcast on Starbucks?
No, I have to still.
Oh
I have to.
my
I listened
I
to
know
it.
you
I
guys were
listened to
hyping it up.
I did.
Howard Schultz is just brilliant. I mean, especially like the last hour of it, as he's like diving, because they do 3 hours of Starbucks history, and then the last hour they do more like current stuff, past like 5-ish years, COVID, and like all that type of stuff, right? So like the last hour, he even directly calls out the succession and all that type. It's amazing.
We need him instead of Laxman.
Oh,
We
you
need
don't
him
like
back.
Laxman? You're not a
I don't
Laxman
like
guy?
I don't like Laxman. I do not like
Yeah.
Laxman.
Schultz said he has no intention of ever coming back ever again. He's
I
moved
know.
on to
That's
like
the thing.
Yeah.
At least Laxman spent like a year and a half or whatever he did with them, but like at the same time, Schultz is there's not even, I think that's part of the uncertainty too with Starbucks, why a lot of people, I don't like it right now, is they haven't really proven that they can be amazing without Howard Schultz. Like they had Kevin Johnson for like the 3 or 4 years or whatever, but that's another level of uncertainty for the people who don't like that. But I see some strong things at Starbucks right now for the long-term shareholder.
No, yeah, I do think they're addressing it. I saw like a new thing, like they have like pairings that are like $5 or $6.
They have the box.
Yeah, the box, and there's also pairings. They're bringing back deals. I feel like next quarter is going to be a recovery quarter. I could be wrong, but I just think the Starbucks rewards incentives are going to drive a lot of people back, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's a buy one get one free for Father's Day tomorrow. So, Fiscal, you can get multiple deals for that one.
For sure.
Okay.
So we see.
Sorry.
I think the bigger problem, by the way, just on Laxman, he has no like background of what would you categorize Starbucks as, like a QSR, right? Like he has no experience. He came from, I think, Pepsi. So
yeah, he came from Pepsi.
Right, like they're doing packaged goods, so it's just outsider guy doesn't really have experience how to run like a QSR or anything like that. And I think if they did an internal hire, like look at what Costco is doing right now, right? Like they had the internal guy, he's been there 40 years. He used to be the cashier, he's worked his way up, right? Like I feel like if they had that where you like really understand the business, then would have been a better hire.
I think I do think the year and a half that he spent with Howard Schultz, I think that's also being quickly forgotten by a lot of people right now. But still, it's not a good time to be a Laxman fanboy. Fiscal, we were talking about him before it was even cool to talk about Laxman too.
Yeah,
how charming he was.
Yeah, when he's lobbed like softball questions in an interview and everybody's licking his boots, he seems really charming. But when somebody asks him a tough question, he crumbles apparently.
Well, Jim, thank you very much for the question. Why is your company? Kramer's like, why is your coffee bad right now? Why is it not selling? Thank you for the question, Jim. Yeah.
Oh man,
it's all about communicating the value. They're not communicating the value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they would have came out. At least Starbucks has had a decent little recovery. They hit the 80s for a little bit, but now it's back in the. Where are we buying Starbucks double Ds?
Anything under 90, I like it. I like it right now. I mean, I did here something to Fiscal. Nobody expected that. You've been saying, oh, no one thought could get to 75. Nobody expected that earnings report. That literally came out of left field like an absolute. Like the likelihood that it would go to 75.
Although if you watch what I said a week or two ahead of time, it was if it goes below 75, and I think it could, and it did.
But it was just the earnings.
And now you're rich on your one share, Fiscal.
So out of left
exactly.
field.
I mean,
it was insane.
How about just give the credit where it's due?
You do deserve the credit, but the earnings report was very unexpected. I wouldn't say. This was something where it was like, I don't know.
It could have, and all I'm saying is it didn't have to be that quarter. It could have been the next one or the next one.
Yeah.
No company can absolutely crush it with grand slam earnings reports 100% of the time into eternity, And I think I felt that whenever it was Starbucks had that not great quarter, it could go below 75 pretty easily. And it did. That's all.
Wait, one more question. Do you still have Walgreens?
A little bit.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. All right. Yeah, that's it. That's the only question I have.
He's getting out of it. Don't worry.
What's the thesis with that one, Fiscal?
Oh, it was a mistake.
Why not so?
I'm considering the when.
Yeah, I mean it's like $15 right now. It could go up a little bit, but I don't know. It just feels like the definition of like a cigar butt. It's like Walgreens.
Oh my!
Yeah. I mean, I when they switched CEOs, I did tell myself I was going to give him some time to do something, and
Yeah.
I mean, he's been in charge for what, like a quarter or two,
Mhm.
realistically. Like, I don't
Ain't
think
no Ross
that's
Brewer.
yeah. He's no Ross Brewer, and that's a good thing. So
I know.
he's more of a healthcare background. Initially I thought that their healthcare play was going to accomplish a lot more than it did, and it ended up kind of going nowhere. And they've recently impaired it to reflect the fact that it hasn't grown the way they thought it would. Yada yada. So, yeah, a swing and a miss, I suppose.
Tim
Alright.
Tim Wentworth.
MPW is going to go to 20.
Yeah,
Making people
Absolutely
up.
not.
What's
That happens, I'd be shocked.
what's wrong with MPW? Why is that one down?
What's wrong with it? Well, I don't. I can test the idea that there's something wrong with it, but
A
I
lot
can
of
tell you
things.
why it's down.
Why is it down?
So,
Oh my
Stewart
God, what?
Healthcare is in Chapter 11, and there's a short and distort campaign against them by Viceroy and Hedgeye. So those two things
Sounds
are driving
wonderful.
the share price down. Yeah.
It's
Also,
a recovery play.
Their main tenant is struggling to pay rent. Their
I just
largest-
said Stewart's in Chapter 11. That's what that means.
Oh, I didn't know what Chapter 11 meant. My bad.
Yeah, Chapter 11 is a restructuring type of bankruptcy. But MPW has a lot of, we'll say, money that is secured against assets that are getting sold and whatnot. And they're likely going to get a lot of money out of that bankruptcy, actually. But that's that. We could do an entire episode on MPW and go on for hours and hours. We have
multiple times.
Very nice.
MPW is gonna move. Yeah. Okay. I saw a Dividend dude asked Jassy for a dividend on Amazon. It's 40% of my portfolio too, and I personally would hate that. What are your thoughts on a potential
Why would you
Amazon
hate that?
dividend?
Roberto, 40%. Oh, on a dividend? I don't want a dividend. No.
Why not?
What?
Double
No.
D's roots are coming back. I like this.
No. So, especially in the case of Amazon, it would make, and now that they're producing a lot of free cash flow, it would 100% make sense to dump it all into buybacks. Especially because how fast the company is growing, right? Like, you issue a dividend when you like completely run out of ideas with like reinvesting back in the business and all that type of stuff.
I think a lot of the thing about a dividend is just if a company just has like too much cash. And I feel like Amazon's going to be in that problem soon. So I don't know.
So
I didn't think it was a bad idea.
It's not like a Google or Meta though. Like Google and Meta, they got like way more cash than I think what Meta's at like 60 and Google's at like over 100 billion in cash.
Yeah, I feel
with
like
no
Amazon's
debt.
going to be in the same problem though soon. Like I know they have a lot more reinvestment opportunities, but all those companies are going to be in that situation.
That's another thing though. Like Amazon's way more capex heavy than something like Google, like Meta,
Yeah.
right? So they could always dump more into fulfillment, especially international. Like international is like barely scathed. They could. Oh, I see TJ in the chat. Hello, TJ.
Hello, TJ. I'd be afraid, honestly, of like, especially now with Target, because they kind of did this, but like companies allocating too much into a dividend, and more specifically growing that dividend, because Target massively overhyped the dividend. I think it was like they did it 50% one year, 20% the next, and the last two it's been like 1.8 or whatever. Which, I mean, inflation obviously has something to do with that, but like they could have had a lot more money to buy back shares at 108 or whatever. So, and now they're being a lot more gun shy when it comes to hiking the dividends.
Yeah.
So,
Target with 2%. That was like that was not good.
Practically realty income levels of dividend raised there.
Yeah.
if you got in before 2000 or whenever they hiked at like 50%, it doesn't really matter because your CAGR is going to be insane. But yeah, rough times to be a Target shareholder, but we'll be up one day. One day. Yes, Blake. I think Blake has a channel. It's the same one. Aria, are you a street cleaner? This is an inside joke on all of our guests on the Cashflow Kings.
What does that mean?
You're not a street cleaner, a janitor, a high-yield warrior. We have people on the chat who are street cleaners. They are janitor. They clean the shitter. They clean the shitter every other day.
Is he retiring at the end of the year with $30,000 in Tesla?
Yes.
I don't think he knows about Khmer. I don't think.
Go ahead.
You're lucky not to know about it.
I don't think he knows about Khmer. No, nothing. I just wanted to say I don't think you. Do you know who Khmer is? Khmer? Aria.
Do we go down the rabbit hole?
No clue.
All right. Well,
you've gotta watch Khmer.
Is that
Did you see their line?
Yield Max man?
Yes.
No, I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh wait, the other guy. Wait, there's a bunch
I don't know
of
who
Yield
you're
Max
talking.
people.
I think they're alliance. I think they're like I saw something with their alliances now, so that's kind of funny.
Yeah,
we can't say anything.
But yeah, no, it's We the Khmers. He's this Cambodian guy that also was a U.S. Marine, or is or was a U.S. Marine, and for some reason, people think that makes him qualified to give people advice about buying yield max funds.
If you think MPW is a bad investment and Fiscal's a bad investor, he makes Fiscal look like Warren Buffett.
He maxed out margin
beyond.
to invest in yield max.
How could that possibly go wrong?
No.
I was gonna say earlier on the Nvidia short, what a stupid thing to do. It doesn't even matter if it's Nvidia or whatever. Like, sure, there's stigma around that, but to short a massively growing company just because the stock's up.
Well,
like, I don't know.
And he didn't just sell shares short. He didn't buy puts. He didn't do spread.
Here, let me pull up the tweet.
He just outright shorted it.
No, he sold naked calls.
I can pull it up, Dividend, dude. If you want to present at the bottom, if you see that, I can screen and share.
Selling naked calls is probably the most degenerate.
Wait, did he delete it?
Oh
no, he didn't. Okay, I'll send. What do you want me to present it?
Yeah, present it. I'll put it up on.
Okay.
Yeah, we wouldn't recommend you do it. It's a rabbit hole you don't want to get down.
Yeah. So
options in general.
Yeah, he sold calls without having the shares to cover the calls. So he then ended up having to buy shares to cover those calls to close the position.
This is what he said. He said, let's pretend it's the year 2040. We're able to look back at 2024 and see that the top three stocks are worth $9 trillion compared to the US GDP of $27 trillion. And where do we think stocks would go from here? Continued on without a major pullback. I've been saying this for a long time. What would have to exist in the next 16 years to justify today's values that also give market-beating returns to the three biggest companies today? So he acted like very conservative here. Like, to me, this sounds like a very conservative tweet.
He always says he's very conservative on his channel, too.
Yeah, and then I said, you shorted Nvidia and lost a lot of money. For someone who talks all conservative and wise, your actions do not align with your words. And he said, one bad bet out of 20 years and 1,000 apartments and 8 businesses. Nice job finding the one irresponsible decision. And then I just said,
You put "ha" at the end.
I said, I think there are more things. You act very conservative. I was just calling out a hypocritical action. That's all I said. And I don't even know about these 1,000 apartments and 8 businesses. The only one I know is Everything Money Channel. So like,
the businesses and stuff are real. I've looked into it. It's all real.
Well, yeah, but I mean, for the one action, if like you're gonna make a tweet that sounds very conservative like this, I wouldn't think you would go out and do that as well. That's all I was saying.
It's not his money, to be fair.
Apparently, I think this is deleted, but I think I saw this in the comments of one of his videos. Apparently, he borrowed money from his brother to short Nvidia.
That's an erroneous interpretation. So their family's money is pooled into something called a Crossroads group that also owns their 8 or 9 businesses and their 1,000 apartments or whatever. And he managed the common stock portfolio in Crossroads Group, which is the family's family office or holding company or whatever you want to call it. And as such, his parents' money, his brother's money, all of their money is in there, and he was managing it for all of them. And it wasn't that he borrowed the money. It's that some of the money by definition belongs to his brother because the family is all kind of like partners or whatever in this holding company. And he used the general fund, not like a personal account, but like the money he's managing for all of them. He used that to sell naked calls on Nvidia, which is a little bit irresponsible.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a tad.
And I only get so granular because I think if we're going to talk about what somebody else did and we know the actual like details of it, we should give all the context and be specific.
This is episode 32. Speaking of episode 32, welcome in Retire on Dividends. Spreadsheet YouTuber, welcome in. Very high quality channel. There you go. Thank you for tuning in. Blake comes in 2012 or 2013. Paul wrote an article on why he was shorting Amazon. Not the first time.
Oof.
That's actually amazing. He's been doing this for
that's
like over
bad.
a decade. That's funny.
Amazon's up over 1,000% since then.
Paul also bought Walgreens too. I think he bought Target too, so we both have exposure fiscal. It's like a virus.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, some of like his actual just like straight buys have been fine. Although 3M was a bit of a stinker. Like, why? I don't know why he did that without, and he didn't know about.
And he didn't know about the lawsuits either.
Like, way to do your due diligence and be conservative, but don't learn about the earplug lawsuit. That's crazy. Yeah, like, because that was the thing. 3M, I thought he was crazy. Like, I was like, why are you doing that? There's the earplug lawsuit. And they never mentioned it on any of their videos. And I'm like, how come they never bring up the earplug lawsuit? They just bought it without knowing. That's all. It's crazy.
Beautiful.
But yeah, I don't know. That's wild.
Yeah, Amazon's a. I'd actually like to add that now.
Amazon's a quality.
I do get SHG exposure through it.
You're gonna have to remove the clip at the start about the margins in Amazon. Amazon's expanding their margins.
Yeah.
They're good now,
Yeah,
or
now.
They're free cash flow margin at least. I don't know about their net income.
Yeah, no, everything across the board. They do have well, actually all the big tech companies do, but Amazon specific like has investments in Rivian and stuff. So that does really mess with everything after the operating line. So like net income might look weird depending on where Rivian stock is at and stuff. But yeah.
This whole AI thing is really starting to piss me off. Because it's like the solid stocks that I don't want to buy for the AI or suddenly becoming AI companies like Apple. I'll take it. I mean, I'll take it. I'm getting tons of gains from it. But like Apple, Microsoft, Kroger one day is going to be an AI. I always say Kroger and Target are two real man's AI companies.
There goes Starbucks.
For sure.
Yeah, Starbucks is an AI company too. They mentioned it a bunch in the earnings call. He's like, we're using AI to advance our technologies. Good old Laxman. Fiscal, we do need to do the CEO tier rankings list by the end of the year too. We might have to put that in the end of the year show.
Right. I think Unknown asked about Shopify here.
Shopify, I'll find it.
I think Shopify's like a operational leverage play. I don't know too much about the business. What's cool about them is they have like a lending arm and stuff. So if they see like your e-commerce store is like really good, they'll like give you money to kind of scale that and stuff. Because they have all your data, right? They could see like, oh, this guy is selling a lot of, I don't know, cups, mugs, whatever.
Is it like a loan?
They do like kind of like give you a loan, fund it. I don't know. It's
okay.
Case by case, but interesting company. Yeah.
Everybody, we should have the merch available by next. We're really close to the 500. We should be having it next week.
I would say 2 to 3 weeks probably.
My shirt's taking a piss load of time to come in, so I hope that's just a direct to manufacturer.
We need cash flow Kings Crocs.
Crap, we could do those.
All right, I'll email, hey, since you've got so much stock, you should email investor relations for us and ask for permission.
Yeah, you're technically a part owner.
I am.
That's how you get the ladies. If you wanna get the ladies, you got to go to rather Starbucks, Target, or like someplace like that. Got to go in. You got to say, you know what?
What the heck?
I'm a part owner of this company. Treats on me. And I'm going to do that. We hit 1K, and when we do a real life show, Fiscal, I'm going to have to do that. So that's our slave editor. That's right. He's in the Wendy's basement right now. Get working on the shorts, boy. Get working.
Bro. That's unreal.
Our good editor. He's earned his take. Yeah. All right, Dividend dude, why'd you sell out of Vici? I think I know why, but I need clarification.
Okay, so I sold out of two companies actually recently. It was Disney and Vici.
Ooh.
And The reason for Vici basically was mostly it was better opportunity. It wasn't like anything inherently wrong with that business itself. It's just when I looked at my portfolio, I said, okay, what's the worst quality businesses? And Disney and Vici stuck out to me like a sore thumb. And so I switched into a little bit higher quality businesses and sold out of a little bit of lower quality businesses. Also, like me being a little bit younger, I was just looking at Vici's AFFO per share growth. It's kind of, I know the high interest rate environment and stuff, but I just wasn't enthused and I saw better opportunities.
Did Joseph Carlson sell it or did he? I don't think he did he?
I don't know.
I'm willing to bet he's going to sell within the coming months.
Oh yeah, I think we're
I'll-
having a debate about this. We don't know because like
I'll put money on it. I'll honestly, like by end of the year, I think he's selling out.
End of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know if end of the year. I could see the next like year or two. I just he's built it up so much. Yeah, I mean the thing with Vici, like, what did you sell it for? Salesforce.
I sold it for two companies, Salesforce and Paycom.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess. I don't know much about Paycom, like the valuation.
I made
Salesforce, the Salesforce dip seemed really like,
yeah,
it made sense. I said
it was irrational to me.
It makes sense.
Ryan, you said the Salesforce dip made sense.
No, like to reallocate the money.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We'll talk about Salesforce.
All right,
We'll talk about it. No, it like because if you have a dip like that, I'm not trying to add anything. To
yeah, like if you have a dip like that, the opportunity cost of any of your other holdings, all of a sudden, like, you know what I mean?
Especially if you were already invested in Salesforce before it dipped like that.
I was buying at 300.
You got to average down.
I'm shocked. Like Taiwan Semiconductor has been on an absolute rip. Like I don't even know what to do with it. It's actually crazy to me. Like AI is just pushing so many companies so much higher. I mean, like it's over 170 now. I never even expected it to get there. Like it's just a tailwind on a bunch of these companies.
When that bubble pops, it's going to be a beautiful day to buy stocks.
Yeah,
it takes one of those companies. It's just gonna be a domino effect.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know what to do with it because here, what I'm thinking is that it's obviously a cyclical industry, and this is like I feel like it's getting on the higher end. And I don't know what to do, but I know it's a great business, so I'm just kind of like stuck.
It's a unicorn business. It's a one of a kind business.
Yeah,
I think it's similar to my ASML position. I'm up like 80% on that.
I'm up over 100% now on Taiwan.
Not touching it. I'll just leave it there.
Expected that.
Let it do whatever. Because it's another like. Also, these companies are growing at like 20% year over year, which like comparables, obviously AI boom, whatever, but. Like nonetheless, like if you extend it all the way out to the end of the decade, like okay, you sell out now, sure it's cyclical. When do you get back in? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a great company.
100%. Yeah.
I'm in the same boat with Texas Roadhouse.
Ooh.
Like you.
That's to me too. Yeah.
I don't own a lot, which is could easily sell out, take the $300 or $400 that I have in it, reallocate it somewhere else. But like it's also a solid business and. Yeah, it sucks.
I keep thinking about selling Palantir, like because I bought it almost at the absolute bottom.
That was a good buy.
Nobody likes a bragger.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, I'm not saying it was like I'm an expert at. I clearly don't time the bottom well in general. Like, so it was. I'm crediting it more to luck than anything else on that.
What is Stabulo up on MPW now?
Now, talk about timing the bottom. He's up like 50 or 60% right now. I think.
Jesus, and he's 100% in.
He's 100% allocated. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've done a lot of, reading and listening to earnings calls. He's probably done 3 times more than me. Being 100%, I would hope. Yeah. But his confidence somewhat bolsters my confidence, though. So it's good to have
borrowed conviction there. That's the term for that. Borrowed conviction.
Dividend dude, a lot has happened since you last put on the Cash Flow Kings, including your transition to Robinhood. Now, as somebody in the past who's been very critical of Robinhood and on this show, what's your message to Dissector and the other Robinhood or Fidelity people?
I still think Fidelity's a great brokerage, but I think I was wrong about Robinhood. They offer a lot of value to you,
They do.
as an investor. And like me personally, I know I'm going to get over $300 of value for like a $60 membership. That's just something that I can't get in other places. And I don't think it's a con stock. I think they have actually a lot of catalysts. If it was cheaper, I would consider starting a small position in it because it's very risky. But yeah, that's my opinion.
So when you transferred your accounts, did you still get the dividends as per normal?
What do you mean? Like
you transferred your position from Fidelity, right?
Yes, you would get the dividends like normal.
I got everything, and they also paid me like they matched me 1% on all my assets, so I got like the free $250 right off the bat.
Okay, that's stupid because whenever I started my Ameritrade account back in the day, I had to switch it from just a normal brokerage to a custodial account, and I didn't get the dividends for the quarter, and I was absolutely pissed off. Like I had to rebuy all the new stocks. It automatically rebought all the new stocks, but it was like a completely different cost per share. So like, it's just stupid.
That's weird. But Double D's, how do you like the user interface now that you've used it for a while, like on Robinhood?
I mean, I think the mobile one is really nice. I think I enjoy it a lot more than Fidelity, but the desktop one needs some work. I feel like the desktop one is a little bit.
I agree with you. The mobile is really, really strong. The desktop isn't a potato. Like it's not as bad as Vanguard, but it definitely, like, if they made the desktop one as equivalent as good as the mobile one, I think it would be probably the GOAT.
Yeah, I mean, the rewards, like anytime I deposit in my Roth, 3% match, deposit in my brokerage, 1% match, and then I'm getting a credit card. And I think it's just a good deal. And that's honestly, like, if they overwhelm me with money, why would I say no at that point? I don't know.
Yeah, just like SoFi, right?
Don't get major speed in here. That's
hard.
What's your favorite? And I love how we called favorite with the Canadian FAVOUR. What's your favorite?
It's only O.
High
I already answered in the chat. I think,
CP.
I don't know. I don't really like any Canadian companies, to be honest with you.
Okay, thank you.
I think they're not good. Oh, RBC, like the bank.
Oh,
okay. RBC.
Yeah, the banks are weird. You have to time them really, and I don't like that.
There's
what I've noticed?
One right answer to the best Canadian company. It's High Tide, 100%.
I don't even know what's happening with High Tide. I just know it's a weed company. That's all I know about it.
That's an oversimplification. You need to go back and watch the episode where we had Blake Downer.
No. Wait, we have Fiscal. We have a High Tide roundtable, and we're getting like all these big players from the weed industry on the show. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be great too. Because I'm just going to be. I'm going to be out of it.
Do we need to show up with doobies?
Get a real smoky background. Yeah, Aria, the weed smell is really bad in Toronto.
State, so I can do that if we want.
Aria, in Toronto, the weed smell is over. It's over. It's like
depends. What part though?
Downtown.
Like where downtown? Downtown's a very
by Rogers Center.
Yeah, I guess so. Have you been to Yonge and Dundas?
No.
You know where that is? No, that's if you want to see some real zombies, that's where you go. That's
we saw zombies. It was probably not relative to the way you're talking. Is that like the Skid Row of Toronto?
I don't know what Skid Row is.
Oh, it's like a really bad like drug alleyway in like Vegas or Los Angeles.
No, it's very like the biggest mall is on Yonge and Dundas and everything. It's just
I know what you mean. We've been there. I think I've been to that.
You've been there?
Yes, I have.
So like it's just a very populated area. That's why, especially at night, there's some there's some creatures, man. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, okay. Speaking of a good story, Fiscal, I have an Asporta Fitness story, and I think I'm switching my membership. This is finance related, technically, everybody. So, I was at Asporta on Thursday night. It's the end of my lift. I'm in the sauna, right? It's just me and this other dude in the sauna. So this guy walks in. It's this guy, and he's got a bunch of tats and stuff. He starts tapping me, and he's like, "Yo, you gonna cash at me, bruh? You gonna cash at me?" And this guy's like pressing people to cash app him. He's like, "You can cash at my boy $10." And I'm like, "No." So then him and this other guy started getting into it in the sauna. And the other guy was like, I'm trying to gain some weight so I could take people like you down. And the guy's like, nah, man, you don't go take me down. I'll fucking shoot your ass. I'm like, oh my God, these guys are about to brawl in the sauna. So it's honestly funny how like, I'm switching gyms.
Was he asked, like, was he like trying to get people to cash app him for like gay sexual favors, or was
it was just like, it was probably a scam. They probably had like some sort of thing going where it's like free money, but then they'd also like somehow, you know how the Venmo and Cash App scams are. They'll find a way to like.
It's just a sauna is an unusual place to solicit money unless you're like, doing the foot under the bathroom stall kind of thing.
I know.
In the airport,
Yeah. That's the second time now that there's almost been two people threatening to shoot somebody in the sauna, and 2 altercations almost go down. So fun times over here at a Sport of Fitness. I will be switching my membership. Retire on Dividend asked a question. He asked, do you understand how the funds? Oh, he's talking to Dan. Yeah, I don't think they like each other.
Yield Max is horrible. Yield Max is going to underperform every underlying. Yield Max sucks. Do not buy Yield Max. Horrible fund. Never buy it. It's a scam. It is an absolute scam. The people who run it prey on financially illiterate people, and it's a scam. It's a scam. The way they display the dividend is a scam. The whole fund is a scam. I do not care. It is a scam. Do not invest in it. I have multiple videos on it. Yield Max is horrible. I hate it. It's a scam. Do not invest in it.
My favorite fund is NONY. Noni. None. Yeah. Unfortunately, we're not big Yield Max people on this channel.
PayPal's outperforming PayPal. It's insane. I mean, PayPal's not really moving, so.
PayPal owns PayPal.
PayPal's. Why do you own PayPal?
Billions of dollars of free cash flow, growing top line, like it's fine.
Have you looked at their gross margin?
I actually like PayPal.
Their gross margin over time.
Yeah, a lot of their revenue growth is in.
No. The business model changed. That's why the gross margins are going down.
Also the competition of just like Apple Pay, Google Pay.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with the competition.
It has nothing to do with the competition. The business.
I'm telling you, if there was no Apple Pay or Google Pay, I would use PayPal. But those ones have came out using
the Braintree segment and like some other parts that are like lower margin are the ones that are actually growing.
It's because Venmo and Braintree are growing faster than PayPal Wallet. That's why.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But competition is also
fuck Venmo. I'm gonna.
No, it has nothing to do with competition.
There's no evidence that any like Cash App or Apple Pay or Google Pay or anything is eating into PayPal at all.
If anything, PayPal's taking market share from them.
All right. See what am I listening to right now? That's just not even true.
No, I mean it is.
I from experience, and I don't know if there's like market share.
Personal experience is an anecdote, but that's not good.
But people listen. If you're using Apple devices or Google devices, or you're just on Shopify they're coming out with Shopify Pay, you're gonna use Apple Pay. If I have an Apple phone, I'm using Apple Pay. If you're on Google, you're probably gonna use Google Pay. They're eating away at PayPal's market share. I don't know if there's studies done on it, but I'm pretty sure they are.
It's 90% sure they are. It's basically almost completely different customers that they're addressing. Apple, or rather PayPal, a lot of their growth is in like white label checkout and branded checkout. And a lot of that's like on e-commerce sites where I probably wouldn't even have Apple Pay as an option. Like anything where you're primarily going off of like desktop or whatever, or small businesses with like a Wix website or whatever. For the most part, they're going through PayPal.
Even Shopify, if you go on any like Shopify built e-commerce website, there's no chance Apple Pays on that. It's going to be PayPal.
I love PayPal as a consumer. It's definitely a value play, I'd say. But
do you use PayPal, Ryan?
Yes, and fuck Venmo too, because they won't give me my money back.
I use them super regularly, like multiple times a week for both.
Me and Fiscal have for StreamYard.
Yeah.
So. What's the bull thesis on PayPal, Fiscal?
They have literally like $5-6 billion a year in free cash flow, and they buy back about $5 billion a year in stock, and they're at a cheap valuation, and their revenue is growing. Like, seems good. I don't know.
Why wouldn't they pay a dividend?
I don't know. I mean,
because the buybacks are more accretive than issuing a dividend.
Yeah, the buybacks should end up like but there is like an overhang on the price because a bunch of people bought it close to 300 and got burned and don't want back in because they got burned. You know?
Everybody in the comments, do you guys prefer buybacks or dividends?
Buybacks. Depends.
I like a good mix.
I like both.
Well, depends what the valuation is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
by the
all
way,
it is.
my cost basis on PayPal is $59 or something like that. So
That's strong. Yeah,
so
I'll use that. But
yeah, like, and that wasn't the bottom. Like it got down close to 50 at some point, but like I think I got an okay valuation on it, and I'm just being patient. You know, it's going to take a lot of time, I think, for sentiment to turn around on it.
I think if it does like we've seen, like if it becomes like one of those cannibal stocks, it could have great returns. I think that's
potentially, yeah.
I think,
but it's gonna require patience, and it's gonna take some time, and it's not gonna be like I think the people that are buying it think it's gonna be the next Meta, and it's gonna go like 5x or something. They're wrong. I think it could go back to 80, 90, 100 over time, but I don't think it's going to go back to 300 anytime soon.
yeah, I get behind that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think another thing to note with PayPal is they're like monetizing the current user base with like the ads stuff and all that type of stuff now as well. So
Yeah.
like you're seeing this across the board. Like Uber is doing the same thing in the past like year-ish. Uber has implemented ads and stuff. So like just having a lot of users on your platform, you have levers of monetization that you could pull. So
they're doing some stuff like that with Venmo as well, with merchants, if they have, because they can get your location on your phone and see like what merchants are nearby, and like connect you with deals, and like give merchants in that area the option to like push discounts to you to get you in their door or whatever.
Not refunding $35 scans.
But I think that they're only just testing that in certain regions right now. I think it was in that whole shock the world thing where they started explaining that stuff.
lovely.
Yeah.
And then Double D's, why'd you sell it?
All right, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say they have a lot of stock-based comp for, I don't know, like $1.5 billion and then $5 billion of free cash flow. So
That's actually
that is a little high. That is a little high.
Right?
Just go take a note. Double D's, why did you sell it at Disney? Was it just opportunity cost, or because you sold it when it went down?
Disney was more actually the business.
Okay, I want to listen because I recently nibbled it again.
I love the parks. The parks part of the business is by far their highlight reel, and that's why I bought the company. But I just think long term, it's not the same business as it was before. I think, and just before I was selling it, I was seeing like all over X and different social media sites that I feel like one of my things is I feel like YouTube TV and Amazon are going to take a lot of their sports segment, and that's happening. Like you could see like YouTube TV getting deals with the NFL, Amazon Prime getting deals with the NFL, Netflix obviously with coming in and getting deals with obviously boxing and different things. So I feel like their entertainment business is taking a hit. And also I just looked at the valuation, and it's not anything crazy right now. Like looking at it, their debt, their return on invested capital, like it was opportunity cost blended in there, but if I don't like a piece of the business, I didn't want to invest in something where I only like one piece of the business. And it could still do well long term, but it was a combination of that. And
did you get in a gain? Because then you get in at like 80 or 90.
No, I did get gains. I was up like 20%. Okay. I sold at like 103, and I just didn't like it as much as I used to. I don't know. I saw opportunity cost, and obviously Salesforce, another one I bought, which is Paycom.
Yeah, I mean, Disney was definitely kind of like on my short list around the 80s, but over 100, I'm probably not buying it just because there are so many moving parts to it. And if any one of them is a drag on it, you're going to play hell getting a good return.
Question for you guys. If there was a restructuring and they were to spin out all the different revenue lines, you got parks business, streaming, I guess streaming and movie business, and then all the other stuff, right? Yeah. Which would you be interested in one of the subsidiaries if it was just on its own?
Parks easy. I think that's where it's certain. I think that would actually trade at a way better premium than Disney is right now too. But
Parks
I mean,
is the cash cow.
Yeah, the entertainment thing is like it's so like uncertain because you.
But then again, their movie business is what feeds the new attractions at the parks, right? Like they
Yeah.
come out with a new popular movie, which I know they haven't.
They haven't for
Lately. It's not been a lot of hits, but you know
No
we can
hits.
trust that over the last 100 years they've had their their ebbs and flows about
one of a kind IP. Yeah.
Yeah. And when they do get, come out with their next hit, well, there's your next, big theme park attraction that brings people to the park. So I do think Disney is as a whole more than the sum of its parts probably. And so I wouldn't want them to spin it out for that reason, but certainly the parks do better than some of the other parts of the business.
What's the new Star Wars show? Somebody in the comments here tell me about it because I see a lot of people that don't like it. Like even that guy Star Wars Theory or whatever.
Is it a Disney Plus thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I saw a lot of people didn't like it, and it looks a little corny from the ads I saw, but apparently Moana 2 is supposed to be giant for them. Never doubt The Rock, as we've learned with TKO and WWE, which I'm getting increasingly bullish on. It sucks.
Another thing to consider with Disney is I've heard that cruises are starting to do well again, like in general.
Yeah.
The whole cruise line industry. Yeah.
No, they do have to be a comeback play, and the free cash flow. Yeah. That's like the one thing that's been a big part of my thesis recently buying back in is that they're expected to have 7-8 billion in free cash flow this year, which is giant.
I don't know. My thing, I also think they're going through a creative drought. Like they haven't had new created IP, and they're just gonna keep doing sequels on stuff they already. I don't know. I just didn't. Yeah,
I don't think it was. I don't know if I'd call it a drought. I mean, it just wasn't on the level that it was in the 2010s, right? They're supposed to have Toy Story 5.
I'll make a promise. If it drops another, we'll call it 10 to 15% off where it is now, I might just,
Dividend do jinx it for us. Dividend do jinx it for us, please. I want to buy more.
Driscoll, how many holdings do you have?
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the teens. 15 to 20.
I was expecting 40.
I thought he was going to say.
No. I have sold a handful of things in the last few weeks, so I don't have a good recollection of the exact number because I exited a few things in the recent past. So yeah.
And then is MPW the biggest?
MPW is number one right now. Yeah.
It's only 10% too. He's the cult leader.
No, it's not. 10%. It's not. It's more than 10%. It's more than 10%.
Oh. What kind of cult leading is that? I'm 40% with Amazon over here. You gotta.
Yeah,
I know.
You gotta cult lead better.
You gotta realize I'm trying to start a second cult on the side with Grab. So
I thought High Tide. Blake's the
High Tide cult.
Yeah, I'm when it comes to High Tide, I'm just a lackey or a lieutenant. Or an altar boy. I'm not the high priest, but with Grab and MPW, I think I'm the cult leader, but I don't have the most shares, unfortunately, or the highest allocation.
Ryan's the white girl portfolio cult. Starbucks.
I am Target and Starbucks.
Target and Starbucks. Yeah.
Lulu hasn't got it. Lulu hasn't.
You gotta get Lulu, man. Where's Lulu?
You gotta get Lulu.
Right. Yeah, Lulu hasn't.
This is one other company.
Maybe Nike. I guess Nike could be. All the white girls got Air Forces.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about Apple and AI? I mean, I said if you sold Apple before, you're hyping it up now, stop.
I was close to selling it.
I know you were because Joseph Carlson was selling it.
I was close to selling it, and I'm so glad I didn't. And now I was close at the 170. I was like, oh, the growth is going to be 7%. I'm just let me just wait for whatever they have to say about AI. And
never doubt Apple. Never doubt Tim Cook.
I mean, Warren Buffett and all the people that copy Warren Buffett sold some.
Yeah.
Not me. I held
at 170 too.
Yeah. I'm actually seeing some nice gains there. I loaded up a bit. I reallocated some money into it at 168, and I'm liking that.
Yeah, that was good. I mean,
good play.
I think AI, they're going to be able to. I mean, one of the things that I heard is with the LLMs like ChatGPT and Gemini, they're gonna, how Google pays them to be the default, they're gonna do something like that where the LLM has to pay Apple to be the default in the future, and it's like going to be just. I feel like their ecosystem is so strong for cross-selling opportunities and people paying to be defaults. It's just like it's so good in my opinion.
All I saw on the day of the event was calculators. Everybody likes their calculator. Like they had a crazy new calc. They got like TI-84 on steroids.
Are basically the cult members on Apple are the people who actually use the products. They are so. It's the only thing where if people see that I'm using a Samsung phone, they'll be like, "Oh, why don't you get an iPhone?" It's like,
well, here's the thing, Fiscal. I'm saying this.
iPhones are way better.
I'm saying this is the new generations come up. I think it's going to be. This sounds fucked, but it's going to be less acceptable to get like a Samsung or Android because the kids are being integrated into the Apple ecosystem at early ages, and I only see the market share for like new gen. I don't know what the new generation is called, but like new kids, I only see that market share getting bigger as time goes on. Honestly,
I'm one of those Apple everything people.
And who are the people that use like the Androids and Samsungs and the Google phones?
I mean, the highest, the best Samsung or whatever, the S24 Ultra, which is what I've got, it's like a $1,400 phone. It's not for broke people.
No, I'm not saying that it's shit. It's just like
but it's not Apple.
But it's not Apple. But like for the same price, I could get an iPhone. I just don't like iPhones.
Who uses the Samsungs and the Androids though?
I guess millennials.
I would say like
I think Android is like internationally used, but like Samsung competing head to head with Apple, they price above Apple in so many cases. I don't know about Samsung, but definitely like internationally, like people are going for like more budget, like Huawei's and all that type of stuff.
104 people watching. Smash the like button, everybody.
That's insane.
Right. 70 on that's wildlife.
You could say the viewers are compounding.
Yes, Aria and Double D's are bringing in the viewership. After episode 32, we thought we were going bankrupt, but
any updated thoughts on Crocs? Anybody? No.
What are they trading at?
Like 157.
Ooh. I don't know. No, it's not for me.
Everybody should have bought it when it was 85.
I was screaming it from the top of the tree. I was absolutely screaming it. And
You're the
leader
leader of the Crocs cult. No,
under 130, I'm still buying. Under 130, 130, 140.
Ryan, I was watching you guys last stream. At one point, you guys were like, if you say Crocs 3 times too fast, Double D shows up.
Double D's. He appears out of the air.
It's like Biggie Smalls.
I was laughing for like 5 minutes straight.
Still buying Crocs.
But like, honestly, it was a screaming deal when it was in the 80s for sure.
No, I'd like Crocs a lot more if there was proven longevity with it.
I think there is. That's the thing. I think they have.
They're doing a lot of good things right now, but I don't see I haven't seen the longevity.
They have a patent on the specific plastic that the Crocs are made out of.
It's intellectual property. Double D's.
Intellectual property. The kids love them.
Kids test.
The parents love them. The teenagers love them. Your grandma loves them. Everybody loves them.
There's just now. With a company like Nike, everybody shits on it, but at least there's longevity. There's
Crocs outlet stores as far and wide as Manila, for example, where I saw one. I sent did you see the picture that I sent of the Crocs store in Manila?
I did. That's an OG picture.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. I do my boots on the ground due diligence all across the globe.
Yes.
I mean, the stock's still trading at like an 11 price to earnings. They're going to keep paying down debt. I still think they're going to keep buying back shares and just growing internationally.
My problem is, hey, dude, that's a declining business.
That's what gave me the buying opportunity, actually.
What percentage of their revenue is
go down in the first place?
It's a smaller portion. I think it's around 30%.
No, it's less than that. It's less than that. It's 20 something percent revenue. It's something
like around that. But it's just a declining part of the business. But they picked a new guy about 2 months ago to lead like that whole segment. And apparently he's done well in other companies, and so I want to see what he could do with it.
Yeah.
So did Laxman. That's what they said to Laxman. Look where we are now. Fashion brands are difficult. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I feel like Crocs is different, though. I genuinely feel like Crocs is different. If I didn't, I wouldn't buy it. I'm not buying Lululemon because I don't think it's different. I don't think a lot of these fashion companies are different. I think Crocs is different.
I have a hard. I think that's I have a hard time with fashion or apparel companies, because I don't feel like I have a good way to know what's different and what isn't. Like, I don't know what the kids like.
Same with me.
I know
I
what the
have
kids
I have
like.
no read on Lulu being
Yeah.
popular or not being popular. Like, are we?
The kids
what are we
love
doing here?
Crocs. I see them.
Yeah, the
I
kids
see all the
love
kids with the Crocs. I see them.
I mean, I hear you talking about how much the kids love them, and I believe you, or I believe that you believe it, but I don't know. I don't understand like why or like anything. It just doesn't register with me, I guess.
You know,
I
agree. If it just doesn't register with you, it makes sense. But for me, it does.
But I understand.
Who would invest in
why it
using
looks like a good deal in back when it was like 80 something a share. Like, yeah, that like just on the financials, it looked really juicy. But it's like fashion. I don't understand fashion.
What happened with Elon this week? I haven't been paying attention.
So
Dividend,
he got his
what are you?
his big pay package, I guess, got voted by the shareholders, and they also voted to move it to Texas, the headquarters.
What's the pay package?
It's like
billion.
Billion.
It's tens of billions, like in the range of about 50. But I think the exact amount depends on the price that Tesla stock is at.
The money's going to him.
Yeah.
For
No,
what?
so okay, so in 2018, they did this contract where they're like, okay, Elon was like, okay, I'm going to take no pay because Tesla's like a cash flow losing business. We're about to go bankrupt. Yeah. But if we get the stock price to this amount by this date, I get 56 billion. And then the board was just sitting there like, okay, well, obviously that's not happening. So yeah, we'll not pay you millions of dollars and avoid your salary. And then we get this, obviously the stock price isn't going to reach that amount. So you'll just work for free basically. And we as Tesla, we won't go insolvent.
So I don't believe that the compensation is straight cash. I believe it is stock.
It's a completely stock.
Okay.
It's completely stock. It's 9% of the float.
So it was an actual stock option where like they set a strike price, I think is how they do it. And then he gets awarded. They're basically like calls that they award him. And so he gets the shares, all of them, if they're above the strike price, and he gets like this huge windfall. It's crazy.
It's I think it's called a restricted stock unit, RSU. So
yeah, I know.
Exactly as you say.
I know. I think I know what those are.
It's really it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of dilution too. Like I know I would actually, if I was a shareholder, I'd be like one guy getting that much stock-based comp at once.
All right. Well, we're on the topic of dilution, and I know Aria knows exactly what I'm talking about because it's happened last night. We have a new segment on the Cash Flow Kings, everybody. So instead of the Know Your Own, Shut Your Mouth segment.
This is
I know what he's talking about.
This is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous.
This is the ROTW segment, the Retard of the Week segment. Roll the clip.
You are retard.
Yeah.
Physical or mental?
No, not retard.
It's very good you allow retard to eat. Your brother Bilo have a very funny retardation. Show her vagina to my brother Bilo and say, you will never get this, you will never get this, la 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 la.
Rain Man, because he practically bankrupted a casino and he was a retard.
What?
He was a retard. Retard.
That's her. You'll never get this. You'll never get this.
And he break his cage and he get this. We all alive.
All right. So this is. So I made a tweet yesterday, and it was just talking about how Vici was basically how it was down or whatever. And yeah.
Can you go on dark mode, please?
Dark mode.
Yeah. Why are you on light mode?
How does one do that?
I'm going blind here. You might not want to screen share in case there's private information, but
well, okay. I just do it on light mode for now, I guess.
Well,
we apologize for everybody. Get the shades on. So last night, I made a tweet about Vici and how I thought it was stupid if people weren't selling out of it unless it was for opportunity cost, of course. And this guy responds, undiscovered value and growth stocks. Did you see the unbelievable share dilution? Are you crazy? This guy, he pulls up. Are you unable to see this? And he talks about Vici's share dilution. And
real estate investment
Dividend, dude,
trust.
I know we've had the utility dilution debate, but this guy is just it's unbelievable. So I said I don't believe this is a published response. He said, "Thank you, congrats on the dramatic underperformance." This guy, it sounded like Joseph Carlson had his nutsack in this guy's throat. It was absolutely incredible. He said, "Congrats on the underperformance." I said, "You don't understand. Don't talk to me." And he just talks about performance. And he said, "Look at 5 years with the winking." And I couldn't believe it at this point. At this point, I didn't know if it was real. And I swear to God, in the video that I made today, and I pre-recorded it for all of this. And we always talk about the 5-year performance jokes, this one, how 5-year performance is all that matters.
Hey, look, when you're going to invest in a stock, you do your due diligence by pulling up the 5-year chart, and if it goes up at a 45-degree angle, you buy the stock.
Exactly.
Stock up equals stock good. Stock down equals stock bad. It's pretty simple.
Yes,
Absolutely incredible
Over
stuff.
the year. So that's our first ROTW segment. I apologize to anybody who that probably offended. I had some internal debates about making that segment today, but the Borat clips were too good not to pass on. So
And you made sure none of them were more than 9 seconds, right?
yeah, I kind of we'll meet it after. We're a little friendly with the copyright law at this point. For those who know, they know.
I was gonna ask you guys why you wear sunglasses indoors.
That's a good question. It just kind of caught on. I think we did it once.
It's the dress code.
It is kind of the dress code now, and a lot of people don't like it because like we'll post shorts, and I always see the comments of these dudes wearing sunglasses.
You know,
it's pretty funny.
If you don't have at least a few haters, you're not doing it right.
That's what I'm saying. Double D's. What's your experience with the haters been recently? You've been growing a little bit. What's the experience been like?
I mean, recently it was I talked about SoFi, and the amount of backlash I got for saying something about SoFi was honestly next level. Like, I don't think I've ever seen this many people like come out of nowhere. Like, people that have never commented on my posts were commenting on my posts like, "You know nothing about investing. You're this. You're an idiot. Look more into SoFi. This and that." Like, I was like, "Oh my god!"
I got the same treatment.
The same SoFi.
Yes, on SoFi.
I didn't buy SoFi. Or would you think they'd hate me if I told them I didn't buy SoFi either?
No, it's because I made a tweet. I said like, before kicking yourself for any bad investment, just remember like you could have been a SoFi investor at IPO, and then a bunch of people got really mad. I was like,
I mean, it's true.
But Aria, what about you? How's the hate been on your channel? I know you've been growing a lot in the last few weeks, but
I got called a Indian mud monkey on Twitter.
Whoa,
that sounds like Twitter. That sounds like the Twitter.
I'm not even Indian though. That's the thing. I'm Persian, but the guy's account is.
They don't care. You are whatever they see.
Whatever.
No, and then someone commented under his comment saying he's not even Indian, and then he says they all look the same to me.
Bro.
After episode 32, me and Fiscal have been a lot more grateful for every day.
It's okay. I mean,
hate comments.
People usually just oh gosh, what is it? Sometimes somebody Rotten Raul, you know that guy.
Oh my god, that guy's insane. He's trying to kill me, dude. I've got to look everywhere.
He's in your comments too. He's in my comments.
So he called me a fag, I think, or something like that. And
he said he loves me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He said he's gonna kill me.
Yeah, he says worse things to Ryan, but I just thought that was pretty funny.
Phenomenal.
Like that guy's
I think I'm like really on Discord. I'm kind of like well known for having a lot of lady friends and stuff. So it's like
nobody likes a bragger. Nobody likes a bragger. Okay. Not put the rest.
You got me, Raul. You got me,
Raul.
It's just a cover. I'm actually in the closet.
After the episode 32 thing happened, Raul was like, "This was all part of our plan. Look around when you walk out in the street. Oh, this little fucker's gonna be looking behind his back for the next 15 years."
Who takes it that seriously? Like, oh my god. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around and see Raul wheeling in his wheelchair with his high socks coming at me. Raul, don't kill me, please. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Sam
DM me if you want Ryan's address. I have it.
Oh yeah, he'll blackmail it. He 100 bucks PayPal, and you have to do the in seconds option where you want to send it so he gets the fee too.
Yeah, there's a few.
Wire it to me in Bitcoin.
Roberto right here. He says there's a few cult stocks on Twitter you don't want to criticize. Yeah, I think SoFi people, they're like, honestly, they're rivaling like Prime Tesla at the moment because their stock is down too, and like
they're
all
SoFi.
They're all heated.
Yeah.
There's certain cult stocks: SoFi, Tesla, Palantir. You don't want to come for those on Twitter.
After what me and Fiscal went through after episode 32, which one day maybe we'll do like a members only or whatever. After that, everything is like peanuts now. It's actually kind of nice.
Yeah. Also, it's funny because I have some stocks that are kind of cult stocks, but I never get mad when somebody criticizes one of the stocks that I believe in. It's like, I think the fact that people feel negatively about it is what gives me the chance to buy it at a price that I think is cheap. So
yeah.
Like if you really believe in the company, you shouldn't be upset about the criticism, especially if you think it's wrong. You should be like, oh, okay, the people with these wrong negative opinions are giving me an opportunity to accumulate this at a really good price. So I'm going to make a very good return later when we find out that it actually is a good company. But, I think that the fact that they lash out shows that they are actually not very sound or confident in their position.
What about SoFi like differentiates it so much that like someone would want to? Because like I use Chase and I have no incentive to switch to SoFi. Like I think have zero incentive.
So I think even being online only isn't that, like, there's a lot of banks that really are mostly online or only online. But yeah, not having physical branches, I guess, like gets rid of a certain amount of overhead. But yeah, it's like, and the whole student loan refinancing thing was their big landmark or their big flagship product.
Yeah.
Right. But when student loan repayments got paused, that kind of kicked them in the nads a bit,
Like I don't see a point to really use them.
Yeah,
Ally is very valid.
And nowadays, with interest rates being higher, a lot of people who got student loans like 4 or 5 years ago that now have to like start paying. Like, can SoFi even refinance them for less now? Because the original interest rates they got were probably pretty low if they got their student loans in 2021. Yeah. So what is SoFi to do? What is SoFi to do? I don't know.
Some guy was arguing with me. Some guy was arguing with me that free cash flow for banks is like bad, which I completely agree with. I think free cash flows on banks don't really work. Like you just pull up JP Morgan's free cash flow statement over time. Like it's not looking good. But then he was saying as a substitute, because free cash flow is bad for valuing banks, as a substitute, we need to take adjusted EBITDA and then add back interest expense to it because interest expense is real for banks. Cool, whatever. But that, like, just because free cash flow is a bad way of valuing it doesn't mean adjusted EBITDA is a good way of valuing it. He was arguing with me about how, that like if you look on an adjusted EBITDA basis, they're actually really profitable.
Well, I think the old school value approach is to look at tangible book value. And
exactly,
I looked at that. That hasn't gone anywhere since IPO. Net tangible book value per share has literally gone nowhere. I looked at it because people were saying like, "Oh,
isn't it about $4 a share?"
I forget. I just looked at the chart and I remember it being like completely flat, and I was like, "Okay, like, why are we talking about?"
Because I remember thinking if it gets to like $4, I might take a look because I think that was what the book value came out to be, but. That's my recollection of it.
Without the per share, it's growing, but since they're diluting at the same time, it's like completely flat on a per share basis.
So, sorry.
So I just don't understand the thesis. Like I don't get what makes this bank so special. Like people act like this is like some revolutionary.
They sponsor a lot of YouTubers like Caleb Hammer.
To me that's just wasting money though. Like I don't look at
it is. It's totally.
They have the arena in Los Angeles or whatever.
I don't look at those and I'm like, wow, they're the Caleb Hammer talks about SoFi. That means I should go with SoFi.
But maybe we should, change our tune and we should start sucking them off so that we can get some of those sponsorship dollars.
We should. SoFi.
We should sell out, guys.
Yeah, we could totally.
I get it.
SoFi. Jimmy Diamond, nobody gives a fuck.
Tangible book per share, it's $3.60.
Look at what was it at IPO per share? IPO compared to IPO, and then I want you guys to see this. I think it was like $3.57 or something.
It says I need to get a 7-day free trial to view that data.
Here, I'll look at it. I'll pull it up on Seeking Alpha.
Yeah, using our
we're using our connections.
Advantage.
All right. Okay.
Me and Dividend, dude, are both former Dividend data sponsors. The first two OGs.
Yep.
We've left.
Yep. Okay, where is it? Is it cash flow statement?
But yeah, anyways, just like, how does free cash flow being bad? Oh, and then he was saying they've lost $16 billion in free cash flow cumulatively since IPO. But how has the cash balance gone up over time? Now, I don't know if you guys have ever opened a cash flow statement, but first of all, free cash flow is not even like a number. It's operating cash flow minus CapEx. Right. So
I only look at the stock's 5-year chart.
Yeah. So, sorry. Yeah. We just look at 5-year chart.
Yeah.
But after operating cash flow, there's 2 other segments, which includes like all the financing. If you're raising debt, if you're diluting shares, if you're buying back.
Here it is.
Literally everything.
Okay. Tangible book value per share. Yeah. So, okay. Wait, hold on. Let's go to quarterly.
82 people watching on Twitter. Give us a follow, please.
Yep. Here it is. Tangible book value per share at September 2021 was $3.78. And March 2024, it's $3.87. It's gone up 9 cents.
It's gone basically nowhere. Yeah.
And it's gone down and up and down and up, and it's literally gone up 9 cents in like 2 years out of like 8 quarters.
But yeah, that's for reference. Why I said it had to go below $4.
So, Dividend, dude, just for reference, did you want to look at JP Morgan and in the same time frame? Just to get a rough idea.
Okay, sure.
Because our fellow over on Twitter, he was comparing it to JP Morgan.
JP Morgan's probably the only bank I'd consider investing in.
I was going to say this all the way at the start of the show. I was going to say, I've noticed the biggest bank in any country tends to be a pretty good investment.
So over the same time frame, 2021 to now, tangible book value per share in 2021 for JP Morgan was $70.68. Now the last report for JP Morgan was $87.39. So it's gone up a good amount.
Yeah. JP Morgan, by the way, they got to buy out the assets from First Republic at a steal of a deal.
Yep.
When that went under. So and there's actually like, they're so big that there's rules against them acquiring other banks like that, but they got to absorb it all because it was like an emergency situation or whatever. So like all the rules got waived. It's good to be JP Morgan.
Yeah. Too big to fail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The topic of hate.
I mean, I'm up pretty large on my Bank of America. I have a little bit of that.
Warren Buffett play over here.
Okay.
Yeah. On the topic of the hate comments, I made a tweet that I did a video following on whether dividend investing is a scam or not. And a scam it's a bit taken out of proportion, but I mean, like, I was referring more to like the crazy sacrifice that people do to like chasing dividend paying companies specifically, and the crazy like off balance between total return and that. People did not like it whatsoever. It was honestly probably, I don't know if I was attacked by some certain YouTubers, not to be named. It was rough though. Like poor Lincoln. I had Lincoln in the comment section defending me. Thank you, Lincoln. But yeah, if you make a video hitting that right spot in the heart, it does well for you. On the topic of engagements, I need to ask both you two a question on behalf of me and Fiscal. Is it worth getting Twitter Premium?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to grow on Twitter Premium is like a requirement.
Even if you don't get paid.
Content. I didn't get paid for the first couple months I used it, and then I obviously got monetized and then started getting
it.
I think just the ability to be able to type a really long tweet, that alone is worth getting premium for. Let's just take like all the other features of Twitter Premium at a like if you were to just get the long format tweet, that instantly boosts the quality of the tweets that you're putting out if you're trying to grow on Twitter.
Fiscal, get the checkbook ready.
just as a heads up to even the viewers watching, if you buy Twitter Premium on like a laptop or like PC, desktop, whatever the case is, it's at least in Canadian, it's $10 a month. And then if you buy on your phone, because Apple Pay is a monopoly, or Apple App Store is a monopoly, they charge you $15. So
that's what I heard. That's what I heard. It was that was with another app too. I don't know what it was. It might just be Twitter, but
I get it for $7 a month. So I have an annual deal. I just
you locked in your Dividend data membership prices. Went down from $200 a month to $170.
No, I mean Dividend. You know, I like his research tool. I liked it, but obviously I just felt like Seeking Alpha was just better, a bigger player. Like they reached out to me. I was just like, I'm sorry, man. You know, I gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Sometimes, you know, I was fortunate enough where the Delta app could to cover some vacation time for Ryan without having to stress about pumping out a video.
And I've actually been getting like good money from seeing, like, if people sign up using my link, I get half of it, which is $95, and then
the affiliate links.
It's recurring. Like I've been making like $150 a month just off of Seeking Alpha.
You could buy a bunch of MPW shares with that, Fiscal.
I could. A bunch of MPW shares.
I know. My radar is going off right now.
My only thing, if we got Twitter Premium and we get monetized, I'd like to see them put a lot more like ad revenue or whatever towards like podcasts or long form stuff you post. Like, because I don't feel, I get it, but like I don't feel like you post a bunch of stuff on our account. I mean, if we got monetized, obviously I'd probably start gouging it. But
I mean, for me, I've started doing these like high quality like threads, like deep dives on companies, and they do pretty good. I enjoy making them. You just have to like enjoy like kind of the process. Like I enjoy it, so I just do it.
For me, Twitter's like if I got a ton of time at school or whatever, and I just want to mess around.
Honestly, I will say this: the character limit it limits my enjoyment. So I do think if I got premium and could go like make like a longer post, I'd probably enjoy it more.
Your stuff gets pushed more too if you're verified. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, yes, it does.
Yeah,
it's known. It does. It's known.
So I guess I better get the PayPal account ready to.
Yeah, get ready, Fiscal. A lot of expenses coming up on the CFK checkbook. Our Twitter following's actually grown like a piss ton recently, and it's kind of stupid because we don't post anything really there. Yeah, 93 followers. There we go.
All times where I gain a bunch of followers, and then like a bunch of them, or like some of them will be bots, and then they do bot cleanings, and then I lose a ton. And then,
yeah, that happens even with my small amount. Like I'll notice like 3 will randomly disappear.
Happens with everybody.
I guess I had a few bots.
Yeah, what's the craziest engagements you guys have had? Like, has there been anybody really that famous, like that, I don't know, commented, liked, or whatever? Twitter's kind of fair game now.
Dan, do you want to take that one? I think.
Shoot, I can't remember.
I know you're looking for that Elon repost.
Robinhood.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, Robinhood. Robinhood quote posted me. I forgot about that.
You're looking.
My God,
they quote posted me. They were like, let us cook or something because I said I switched from Fidelity to Robinhood. And they quote posted me. I'm on their radar. Robinhood's gonna sponsor me.
Did they pay you to switch over and now they're reposting your stuff? It's a 2-way deal, or did you sign an NDA? You can't disclose. I respect it.
Like it was. I mean, I'm just happy. You know, Robinhood noticed me. Vlad Tenev and Robinhood team, they know me.
Schwab responded to my tweet yesterday because I was pissed off they won't let you buy SHG and fractional shares.
So I'm planning on getting their gold credit card.
Oh
yeah, I'm gonna get it too. I've been on the wait list for months. I've been on the wait list.
I promise. I will engage with you all the time about how much I love the gold credit card once I get it, and we can have a fun spiral upwards.
That credit card is going to be really good.
Gold credit card.
Yeah, you're still on the secured card, Dan? Right?
I just have a Chase credit card that I have right now, but until I get to, I want Robinhood's credit card. I've just been on the wait list.
Yeah.
Aria, what credit cards do you have, Aria? You're a little
RBC.
There we go. Right.
Oh, there's this. You know what? Let me grab it. Oh, I'll be right back. It's actually a really nice credit card.
Oh, don't show the number.
Premium credit card.
Hey, make sure you send us the security code and the expiration date in the private chat.
Yes, of course. 5-minute warning, everybody. If anybody has any last comments, questions, concerns, you name it. Yeah, what a time to be alive. I'm sure. Dividend, did you graduated, right? You recently?
Yeah. I graduated on Thursday.
Nice. I finished Thursday. Then I got to graduate in 2 weeks. I don't care though.
Hey,
free time off.
I graduated 18 years ago.
Fiscal, you like that tweet that I put out and you responded the last day of school?
Oh yeah.
You were like, I remember that day like it was yesterday. And I was like, was yesterday 50 years ago? Good old age joke. Good old age joke.
Yeah. I mean, it was 18 years ago. So which those are like your age ago is like I've lived an entire extra one of your lives since I graduated high school. That's pretty crazy, right?
Wildlife. Pockets better back it up with the Cash Flow Kings balance statement. Paycom, thoughts on Paycom? I don't know much
it's
about
my largest holding now. It's my first
awesome.
4K holding, and just because I keep buying it, it's cheap. It's a human capital management business. It's competing with automatic data processing, Paychecks. It's a cloud business, and they have a couple things that differentiate them in the space that I feel like they're going to disrupt over time. It's a recurring revenue model, free cash flow cow, can buy back stock, great balance sheet, pays a 1% dividend.
If you can put something out that beats ADP and adds value,
it's definitely better. It's just that software, that type of stuff is very sticky, so they're hesitant to switch over, but it's definitely a lot better.
Like I've actually used ADP in a few different applications, and it's definitely they've been resting on their laurels. You could say everything kind of looks like it's from the 1990s and hasn't really changed much since.
Hear that everywhere. Yeah.
I couldn't find on Paycom
from me.
Yeah.
Can I show you I'm going to show you the credit card really quick. Can you see my screen?
I can see it. I don't want to put it up unless there's like any.
No. It's
I know. I don't want to like dox you or whatever. Your credit card in there.
No. It's not my credit card. I can find it, but
let me know when
like this.
Can I pull it up?
No, go for it. Yeah. It looks like this.
Oh, it's actually crisp.
You see?
That's crisp.
I haven't seen these ones, but like this is the exact. This is a little bit dirty. This is the exact one I have. It just says W on it. But
you gotta pull that out near the ladies.
So it's such a cheap plastic that it's made. It's not metal or anything. So that's the only thing that sucks about it. Like when you touch it, you're like, ugh.
What about like the rewards and all that? Like what are the?
It's actually a debit card. It's not even a credit card. It's 4%. Like high yield savings account on your balance, and it accrues weekly, and then it's a 1% cashback as well.
Well, most debit cards are 0 cashback, so that's automatically a better deal. Yeah.
And then it's 4% high yield savings account on top of that, right? So that's the great thing about it. The only thing that sucks is we have CDIC in Canada. You guys have FDIC insured, so up to like 300K deposits, right? For this specific bank, it's only up to 100,000. That's the only thing that sucks. It's actually kind of like SoFi. This bank, it's online only. There's like a brokerage aspect to it.
But hey, if you have more than the 100,000 limit, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah. You asked me about Paycom, Ryan.
Yeah, Paycom.
The biggest, like we've had this happen with a couple software companies where I don't know how familiar you guys are, but like traditionally all software has been on premise. So you can imagine like your Windows, right? Like when there's data on your Windows desktop at home, that data cannot be transferred at all to your phone or whatever the case may be, right? And then over time, the past like 20-ish years or so, we've moved more towards a cloud world where like, okay, when I pull up YouTube on my phone or when I pull it up on my desktop, my laptop, whatever, like it shows me the same data, right? Like I could see my account there if that's cloud. So we've had a couple of these companies come along where there's the traditional on-premise only company that's in there. So like namely ADP here, and then Paycom, Paycor, Paylocity, like a bunch of these different cloud companies, Workday, right? Like all these different companies have came along, and because they're cloud native, they have a massive advantage over something like ADP that's traditionally just on premise. And there's a lot more benefits to that. Like your employees could open it at home. They don't have to necessarily be at the desktop at the office building to be able to see all the HR information. So same thing goes for Salesforce, by the way. So
yeah. Last question here from Matthew Harbaugh 2000. Thoughts on legacy software and how AI will create competition and margins?
I don't know.
I guess.
I don't know.
All I know is that the Kroger and Target and Starbucks, the only AI companies.
I think that's absolutely. I could get behind that 100%.
All right. I told you guys, you're going to get a Joe Rogan hour 40 episode tonight. Thank you very much to Aria and Dividend Dude for coming on. Dividend Dude, reoccurring customer. But guys, plug anything you need to. We made a few plug jokes earlier, but Aria, you want to start? Plug your Twitter. I know your YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, plug anything.
Absolutely. I think it's linked in the description, so you could go ahead there. The handle, both on Twitter and YouTube, Quality Invest 5. So same thing. We don't waste your time.
Yeah, he doesn't waste your time.
Waste your time is wasting your time, though. Just so
I don't waste your time on the channel. Never. Yeah.
Let's wait till you get the sponsorship offers. Money talks. Dividend Dude, plug anything you need.
I've been very active on X, so just Dividend Dude YT on X, and then I have a YouTube as well. And I recently kind of started a podcast. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's like a little project. I don't know if I'm super deep into it yet, but yeah.
Also, report the fake Dividend Dude account that keeps coming out.
Yeah.
Get rid of that guy.
There's fakes. I would have never thought.
You can.
It's really bad on Discord, but I haven't really seen it on Twitter.
They can imitate, but they can never usurp.
Not with people like our size, though. Like I've seen it with that Hero Dividend guy, but nothing for us smaller guys. Oh,
I saw a Dividend Dude fake with 2,000 followers.
Yeah, he was recently a different account because I looked at his old tweets, and then he switched over and just started copying all of my tweets and changed his name to Dividend Dude with 2 D's on the dude.
Yeah.
And it's just
he went meta and did double D's in his double D's.
Yeah, it's I was like, what the heck are you doing? And then he got recently suspended, I think.
Yes,
which is good.
And if any more come up, we will crush them, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their women.
All right. Thank you all very much for watching. Smet, if you're on Twitter, give us a follow. There's 90 or something ridiculous for you guys on there. Give us a follow. Smash the like button if you're on YouTube. If you're the one person on Twitch, thank you guys, Doctor. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Smash the like button, subscribe, do Dividend Stocks at Drugs. And of course, remember, cash flow is king.